Justin Addick. He already hiding his face. So, back in 2007, I found myself in Bowling Green, Kentucky. I was a lost, broken, confused, and hopeless little country boy from eastern Kentucky. And the place I was at, this dude come in to carry the message of Narcotics Anonymous, and at the time they was telling me to find someone that I can believe in that's going to help me in my recovery. And what I didn't know that night was a power greater than me was definitely at work putting this man in my life. I put him through hell for the next 10 years. But no matter how many times I went back out, no matter what I done, no matter how I treated him, he was the person that continued to believe in me and to continue to love me exactly where I was at when even a lot of people in the rooms didn't want nothing to do with me anymore. I was that addict, you know? And no matter what, this addict was still always there for me. He always carried a clear message of Narcotics Anonymous, but he lives a clear message of Narcotics Anonymous. I give you Bucci, a.k.a. Calvin B.
Testify.
My name's Calvin. I'm an addict. I'm from Bowling Green, Kentucky. I'm probably going to cuss, so if I offend you, probably not going to apologize to you. I'm sorry. Damn it, Justin. Fuck, you made me cry. So, I'd like to thank the committee for asking me to come down here to carry a message. Y'all don't know how many times I tried to turn this down. And Grant kept calling me. He fucking called me last year or some shit. I don't know. And I was on my way back from a retreat, and I was like, nah, that's too far away. I can't do that. Y'all don't know my sponsor. He said, yes, you can. And so I'm here. I wasn't nervous on the way down here today. I wasn't nervous when I walked in the hotel. But when I walked through that door about 20, 30 minutes ago, I said, oh, shit. I'm from southern Kentucky, so I do have a southern drawl. But I don't care. Like, so when I got here, I had just went to treatment on my 34th birthday. Thanks, Poppy. On my 34th birthday, the judge said you can either go to treatment on January the 5th, or there will be other consequences. And I said, well, that's my birthday. And he said, well, you can spend your birthday in jail until we get another bed date for you. And I said, what time do I leave and what do I need to take? I came in through drug court. I thought that I didn't have a problem. I thought that if the police would leave me alone, because I lived less than 100 yards from the police station, and they admitted in court that it took them 12 years to catch me. Like, you talking about an arrogant drug dealer would sit on my patio and wave at them while I was getting high and making deals. And they could never take a picture. They could never get a picture of me doing that. But they sent someone into my house. And I'm telling you, I would have got away with it if my little brother hadn't come in and cut the music down, only to say, hey man, they got this guy wearing a wire and he's trying to catch you. And the guy got up and took off. And he said, oh shit, I think that was him. They said, you want to get high? So I continued to get high. From a very small town called Scottsville, home of Dollar General. Woo. And everybody knew everybody's business. Like when I went to high school, there was 800 students and only 13 of us were black. And I play sports, so I got special treatment. But I didn't want it because I didn't want nobody to know who I was. Like in high school, I was a goody two-shoe. My father was a bootlegger. My grandmother was a bootlegger. And I was their carrier. So I knew how to sell drugs and do all that shit at an early age. Like, honestly, the first time I got a bicycle, it had a basket on the front. So I'm the only boy in my neighborhood with a basket on the front of the bicycle, only to find out that the reason I got it was to carry the whiskey to my grandmother's customers. And so I learned that if I add some more money onto what they was going to pay, I could buy my candy, which I'm still addicted to today. So, you know, I didn't use until I was 19 years old. On my birthday, I went to treatment on my birthday. I got high on my birthday. It's a lot of shit happened on my birthday. But the one thing, like, they told me, like, I had went to Western Kentucky University and I lived off campus as a freshman and I had my own place and these frat boys lived below me and I would never go talk to them because they were partying all the time. And believe it or not, I weighed like 145, 150 pounds and all I did was run every day. That was my first addiction, was running. I ran every day. And so they kept saying, come on and hang out with us. And I was like, nah, y'all drink and party too much. I don't do that shit. And then they said, if you do that, you will be like us. And it all changed for me then. Because I come from a large religious family. And like, I always stayed to myself. 4 years of high school, I only went to like maybe 8 classes. Like I said, I was treated special. No one gave me my grades. I earned every last one of them, but I did not want to be around people. Did not. I would go to the gym every day, sit in the top of the gym, do my homework, go to class, turn it in, and leave again. Every chance I had, I was out on the track running. It didn't matter how cold, if it was raining, if it was snowing. It's like I had to prove something to me, and like I had to prove something to my father, and I had to prove something to everybody else around me. And the thing about it is, they didn't know what the fuck I had to prove. Nobody knew what was going on in my head because I never talked to anyone. Like, if I got mad at you, it might be 3 months before I even talked to you, and we could live in the same fucking house. And that's just the things that I did. And then, like, the first time that I used, it was like I used. Yeah, I came out to my best friend that night also. And then, like, yeah, my birthday's fucked up. And so, like, that was another traumatic thing. And so I just used. And I flunked out of college. And, like, I go back the next semester. And, like, I'm on probation. And I'm going to class every day. And, like, I'm doing everything they told me to do. But they didn't say you had to come to the class not fucked up. Because I went to the class fucked up every day. But I was passing some of them. And it just went to a downhill spiral. Like, I got a degree from a different institution, and like I cook for a living, and that's what I went to school for. And so, man, so fast forward, I go to treatment. I have 11 days clean. My actual clean date is Christmas, but I don't celebrate it till the 26th. I'll go to treatment on my birthday, and I'm 11 days clean. And the substance that I was using, they said it should have been out of your system a week ago. You should be clean, and I was not. And they asked me how much I used a day, and they said you should be dead. And it didn't faze me. And so I went to this facility that was, you can't talk to the girls. I said, you ain't got to fucking worry about that. But I talked to the girls, and I got away with it. Oh, he's the sweetest thing there ever was. He's so nice. Oh, like they were literally kicking people out for saying hi to the girls, and I would go down the corner. What's up, baby? How you doing? And it was like, is he gay? And it was like, no, he's not. Yes, the fuck he is. Like I did everything wrong in treatment you could do. Everything. I didn't get high. I slept with my roommates. I did stupid shit because I didn't think I was like anybody else there. I came because the court system sent me here. I didn't think that I had a fucking problem. I didn't think that using $500 worth of fucking drugs a day was a problem. I thought everybody done that shit because the circle I ran with did. So it was nothing new to me. Oh, well, you're a lightweight. You only use that much? Yeah? Get out of my house. You know? And so I can remember being high one night and the guy walks in and he slaps a white key tag on my table. I said, what's that? He said, that's a key tag from Narcotics Anonymous. I said, don't you mean AA? He said, no, they got one for drugs. I said, well, you better take your ass on over and get that off my table because you fucking up my high. And here I stand. So I go to this drug court thing and I go to meetings and I get a sponsor. I do everything that they asked me to do, but I had a plan that a year into this shit, I'm going to get high. Janet can tell you because she was there, because I would say in the meetings, when this motherfucker's over with, I'm going to get high. But I was still working steps. I was still chairing meetings. I was at AGSR. I did H&I in 3 different facilities. I did whatever they asked me to do because I didn't want to go to jail. You know, and the first time I got arrested, I went to jail for 15 minutes. The second time, I went for 45 minutes. I got out of jail, walked up the hill, and went to my house and got high. That's how close I lived. Like from here to the restaurant, that's how close I lived. And like those were my things. And like so, I got put in a recovery home, and everybody around me was getting messed up, like every day. And I'm like, what is wrong with y'all? Y'all for real got a problem. Can y'all not stop using? I have. Shit, what's wrong with y'all? And like, so I graduate drug court and all this shit. I get out, and I was like, okay, here we go. I was scared to death. I stayed in the house for another 6 months. I kept going to meetings. I got 18 months clean. Then I got 2 years clean, and I was sponsoring people, and I was the worst sponsor. I mean, the worst. I think they wrote that pamphlet about my ass. But every time that I tried to leave, like I would talk myself into leaving. I got kicked out of the recovery home because I had a business venture with the owner, and he didn't like that I was making more money than him, so he fired me from the restaurant we had together, kicked me out of the recovery home, like within minutes, and so like I'm homeless for a good hour, and then it was revenge. He said, I want you to get all your shit out of my house right now. So we got 2 trucks together, and I went in and took everything that was mine. When he came over, all he had was a bed and a few forks, because everything in the house was mine. So I took every fucking thing. With nowhere to live. Nowhere. I found somewhere to live, and like I started working in the treatment center. Biggest mistake of my fucking life. I'm trying to leave this program, but I got a head full of it, telling the newcomer how to stay clean. This is what you need to do. And I was like, well, don't you suggest it? They didn't suggest shit to me when I got here. They said, get a sponsor, go to a meeting, sit your fucking ass down. If you got to pee, pee before the meeting. If you got to smoke, smoke before the meeting. And when the meeting starts, don't say shit. One, if I have to share it. If we want to know how to get high, we'll ask you. Y'all got me fucked up. And for 6 months, I did that. But something happened along the way. Like when I was in that recovery home, I got done wrong. I mean, it was a blessing, but I wanted to beat somebody's ass. So I'm sitting in a house meeting, and the owner comes in, and he says, hey, there's somebody gay living in this house. And I'm sitting there smoking my cigarette, and he's got oxygen on it. I'm just steady blowing cigarette smoke in his face like the son of a bitch. And they was like, well, whoever it is, I'm beating his ass. If he looks at me wrong, I'm going to fuck him up. I kept smoking my cigarette because I got told a long time ago, if you don't want nobody to know who you are, when they start saying shit about you, don't start trying to defend yourself because you're a dead giveaway. That's some shit I learned in my neighborhood. And I said, okay, I'm just going to sit here and be quiet until. He kept saying, do you have anything you need to say? Yeah, fuck you, dog. So I finally said, yeah, it's me, man. It's me. And everybody got real quiet. And he said, well, I think you need to explain to. I said, I don't need to explain shit. I came to Bowling Green this way. I grew up this way. I have lived my life without most people not knowing. And you decide you need to tell my business to make your ego bigger. That's cool with me. But I will burn this bitch down. I go to a meeting, and before I get to the meeting, they're in the parking lot, and there are many people talking about me that don't even know who I am. And before the meeting started, I'm sitting in there with my sponsor, and they're talking shit about me, and they don't even know who I am. At this time, I weigh 190 pounds. I work out every day. I run every day, and I'm still angry at the fucking world. So I will kill you. My sponsor was 19 years old, and I was 34, and he has me by my shirt saying, please, oh God, please, don't hurt nobody. We don't want them to lose their meeting space. I said, there's a big fucking parking lot across the street. And that's what happened. One boy said way too much, and I said, hey, I'm that guy you're talking about. Meet me over there, and we can see if you can whoop my ass. After we drug him back across the street and put him in his car, my sponsor said, if you ever fight again over some silly bullshit like that, I'm going to drop you. I said, it's not silly. He said, do you know who you are? I said, I'm working on it. He said, good, because they're not. So you need to do better. First of all, hearing this from a 19-year-old fucked me up real bad. I'm trying to change sponsors. But there wasn't nobody I liked. I didn't like nobody in NA and Bowling Green. I didn't like nobody. Janet, me and Janet, we'd argue all the time. I sponsored her son, and so we had that baby daddy. Hell yeah. And we still, like, she kept me. There were some women in the program that kept me from, like, doing stupid shit. Like my predecessors, they're still there, and they was like, Sunshine, you don't need to be doing all that. Just work your program. Now, I need to let you know that going to a meeting and, like, I read sometimes, and, like, I wrote on my steps sometimes, and, like, I was barely sponsoring people because, like I said, I was doing some fucked up shit. That's not a program. That's just... To me, it was going to meetings, so that's what I was doing for years. I didn't know that reading the book slowly, getting with your sponsor and writing steps, I didn't know that would change me. Because to be honest, I didn't want to be changed. I just wanted to be clean and live the same way I was living out there in the madness. Sleeping with whoever the hell looked at me. Look, if you look good, smell good, I wanted to take a bite. Shit, I thought you tasted good. I had a reputation in Bowling Green. Oh, he's a predator. But you can't pray on a willing, here. You cannot pray on the willing. If you knock on my door at 1 o'clock in the morning, I know what you want. Because that's the same shit I was doing when I was out there using. But I got that reputation. And so I'm going to be the bad boy of NA in Bowling Green. And I did it for years. And like, so I guess about 17 years, I decided I didn't want to go to meetings anymore. I don't want to do shit. That's when I first met Grant. Because I went to my first convention, my first VRC in Chattanooga, Chattanooga Choo Choo. Like, I met some cool people. Met Dave. Me and Dave hung out at like several conventions. We did doing the damn thing, going to meetings, going hang out with some recovering addicts after the meetings. We went to the caves and shit in Chattanooga. I didn't know they had caves in Chattanooga. I'm from Mammoth Cave. Ain't no cave better than Mammoth Cave. That's a lot. I never smoked hookah before I learned how to smoke hookah. I don't do that anymore either. Bad lungs. So, I went to my first one and I heard these speakers and I'm like, oh shit. There's recovery outside of Bowling Green. I can get into this. So I started traveling with my recovery. But it still didn't keep me from the fact that I don't want to be here anymore. All they do is talk about me. Every time I go to a meeting, they're looking at me funny. Every time I say something, they want to start whispering. And at the time, I had changed sponsors, and I was like, dude, I don't want to do this more because they doing all this crazy shit. And he said, if you quit doing the shit that you're doing, they're not going to talk shit about you. I said, well, they know they fucking business. What I do in my house is my business. He said, but you doing it in the rooms. Oh, well, okay. So I did something different. I went to work and said, hey, you might want to take my keys because I'm not going to meetings no more. And I might get high and take all your shit out of your freezer and sell it. Because I still have the keys to the hotel where I work. I've been there for 21 years. And so it was so funny. My boss says, hey, come to my office and talk to me. It's like, dog, you're not going to talk me out of this. I'm not going to meetings no more, you know. Go to one more. But in the meantime, come to my office and talk to me. So I went to his office, and this motherfucker had my sponsor's number. Because my dumb ass gave it to him when he first came. I said, if I start acting stupid, call my sponsor, because he can pretty much calm me down from anything. What happened was, I ended up going to this men's retreat in Florida. He told me, my boss said, GM of the hotel, he said, you got a bunch of PTO hours. I said, yeah. I'm going to save them for something. I don't know what. Take a couple of weeks off. I ain't doing nothing. He said, yeah, take a couple of weeks off. You're going to Florida. I said, no, I'm not going to Florida. They doing recovery down there, and I'm not going. I'm done with recovery. 17 years. I know how to stay clean. He said, okay. He said, you also know how to cook. He said, but sometimes you fuck up. I was like, I don't even like you right now, dog. So he called my sponsor, and they got it all arranged. And the chef of the hotel was like, he can't go. I need him. He's got to stay here. And I'm like, yeah, I'm with him. I ain't got to go. My GM was a bad man. I love that man to death. We still talk to each other. And he looked at the chef and said, I'll pay you $65,000 a year to do your job. This week, you're going to fucking do it. And he looked at me and said, if you don't go, you're fired. I said, bullshit. He said, yeah. Put a piece of paper, he said, sign this, because if you don't go, you don't get to come back in my building ever. Jesus. I don't like my job, but I love to cook. So I went to Florida. And I got humbled in Florida, because I went down there with a bad attitude. My grand sponsor is Bill H. And he said, come here, Boochie. Tell me what's going on. I said, man, I'm good. And he grabbed me and he hugged me and said, you can let go now. I bawled like a fucking baby. And my life started to change a little. A little. Yeah, I got out of all the crazy relationships. Because I had one relationship that hurt me so bad, I didn't date anybody for like 11 years. If they even mention the word relationship, there's the door. Go on. You know, I'm not doing that shit. I'm not getting hurt again. But one thing I realized is it wasn't the person that I was dating that hurt me. It was me that hurt me. And me being hurt by myself, I was hurting other people. Because I heard it at a convention, they said, hurt people. And I'm like, what the fuck are they talking about? They was talking about me. Like, people think I go to conventions just to whore around. I wish that was the case. Because I wouldn't be so lonely right now. The thing about it is, it's like I got involved with this person right after my mom passed away. And like that itself almost made me get high, because I had to give my mom CPR only to watch her die. Only to unplug her 7 days later. Only to bury her a couple of days before Christmas. This is 2 years after I had buried my father. So they died 2 years apart. But I had to watch her die. Whereas my dad, I didn't see that. The thing about it is like I was always trying to look for something else in somebody else. And all I had to do was do some step work and find it in me. I wasn't trying to do that shit. Simple. I wanted to be simple as hell. I'm lazy. Shit, I pay somebody to clean my house. I don't even cook at home. I don't like washing dishes. I changed sponsors again. And I have that sponsor now. And he said, I will love you right where you're at until you're able to love yourself. And then I'll still love you. I'm like, God, what is wrong with these fucking people? And I'm talking, I got double-digit years. I'm still going places speaking. I'm still sponsoring people. I changed how I sponsored people. And like, look, I didn't have to sleep with them. Because I would get those newcomers that would come in and like they know my situation. And I'm not blaming them, but it does take two people. And I would make that mistake. And then I would harm them and be like, here the fuck we go again. Why can't I change? If you're not doing anything different, you're not going to change. So I get a new sponsor and he says, let's do your step one all over again. I said, well, I'm on step 11. He said, okay, let's do step one all over again. So I started my steps all over again. And he said, take your time. I said, but you told everybody else you sponsor knew they got 30 days. He said, I've been knowing you since you got clean. You're a fucked up individual. I mean that in a loving way. But take your time. And that's what I did. I started to understand that I'm okay. That I don't need someone else's approval. Because that's what I always seek. I was always looking for somebody else to validate me. Always. Whether it be my sponsor, sponsees, my boss, my family. And that was a fucking lost cause right there, because, ooh-wee, that's a whole different convention right there. But I will tell you this, Wednesday, I had Thanksgiving dinner with my family. Like, for the first time, we didn't argue. And nobody got cussed out. All the food was good. All of it. And I didn't have to cook it all. I had fun with my family for the first time in years. And I'm going to do it again Christmas Eve. And that's only because of this program. And so, like, my sponsor had me working steps. And he would call me. And he would say, how you doing today? I'm doing all right. Okay. Tell me how you really doing. I'm mad. What are you mad about? Well, I like this person and they don't like me back because they're straight. He said, shut the fuck up. But I got in a relationship anyway. It took a long time and it took a lot of work. And it was there was no sex involved. Dated someone for a year with no sex. It was an intimate relationship between two men. Like, it was like the same relationship I have with my sponsor. So I learned the value of a relationship. A relationship does not always involve sex. God, it took me 50-something years to figure that shit out. And we traveled together, and we talked every day, and we worked steps together. We did a lot of things together. And he got to a point where he wasn't okay with who he was. But I was okay with who I was. So today we don't speak. I'm okay with that. Because when I talked about it with my sponsor, he said, are you going to be okay? I'm going to be fucking grand. I love myself today. And like, so, shit. Like, I really, really did not want to come. I didn't. My disease was telling me you don't have a fucking message to carry. You're going to a whole new place, and they're still going to talk shit about you. And so I talked to my sponsor about it, and he said, is it them that's going to talk shit about you, or is it you that's going to talk shit about you? I said, seriously, dude, sometimes I just don't fucking like you. He said, but I love you. And so what happened was like, I made a mistake. I fucked around with someone that I shouldn't have. And this person was connected to someone I sponsored. So I lost 2 sponsees in the process. People in the rooms quit talking to me. My sponsee brother quit talking to me. I quit going to meetings. And I said, this is my fucking chance to get out of going to Knoxville. But I called my sponsor about 4 times a week. I talked to my sponsee brother, one of them, at least 3 times a week. And they said, are you doing Zoom meetings? This is my meeting right here talking to you. I ain't going to no meetings. And my disease said, you ain't got to go back. You coming up on 25 years. What do you need them for? Because here you are hurt and ain't nobody calling you. I ain't calling nobody either. Because when I tried, they didn't answer the phone. And I said, fuck NA. Here we go with this same old bullshit again. And then I heard that word again. He's a fucking predator. And the thing about it is what hurt me the most is these people that were talking this shit only know about the reputation is because I share about it in the meeting. I'm the one that talks about me in the meeting, how I hurt people. I'm the one that talks about thinking about getting high because I fucked up again. They wasn't even around when I was doing all that crazy shit, but you got a nerve to call me a predator. Fuck NA. And then I had to go to fucking Barkner in Eastern Kentucky. Fuck them too. Because they love me back to life. They called me. How you doing? Not even knowing what the situation was. They just called me. Because I met these new guys over there. And they wanted to know who I was. And so they were calling me and asking me these questions about steps. I'm like, oh shit, I got to write on my step now. I got to call my sponsor and tell him what's really going on. Eventually, I'm going to have to go back to a meeting. So I went to a meeting. And there was 5 people there. And I said, hell yeah, love all day long. And the fucking topic was about relationships and all this other bullshit. And they said, you want to read the Just for Today? Hell no. Give me something else to read. But I shared where I was at. And everything started to get a little better. And then someone called me and said, hey, let's talk about what happened. And things started to get a little better. And I started writing on my step a little bit more. Like I'm currently writing on the 7th step. Humility is a motherfucker. Especially when you've been humiliated by your own damn self. Like nobody hurt me like I hurt me. Like, I have been improving myself over here. Like, I lost some weight. Don't look like it, but I lost some weight. Look, these ain't real. They mine, but they ain't real. But before, I didn't smile. No matter how happy I was, you didn't catch me smile. If I did, it was like this. If I laughed, it was like this. When I talked to you, I would look down so you wouldn't see what was going on right here. So I got them all pulled. And I had to go share somewhere. March Madness, I do believe it was. And I was like, I can't share with these things in. They're going to fall out. And they was like, I'll put this shit in there. They'll stay in. They'd only been in for like 3 weeks. My gums was hurting and shit. And I was like, fuck this. And I pulled them out while I was sharing, and they hit the podium. I'm spitting everywhere. So I said, oh, I can't go to Knoxville and do that. But I got these new ones in, and I'm like, I was scared to talk because I still got a little lisp, and I whistle sometimes and shit. And I said, oh, they're going to laugh at me. And I'm like, fuck you laughing at you, so it don't matter no more. Because everything I went through a month ago helped me to see, like, if you continue not doing the fucking work, you're going to continue to fuck up. And then you're going to continue to hurt yourself. And when you're sitting there, I'm sitting at home. I live by myself now, which is a fucking miracle. Because if anybody knows me from Bowling Green, I ain't never lived by myself. And so I live by myself now, me and my dog. Oh, bitch. I love her. She's probably turning the hell out of my room now because I ain't there. But we sit there and we watch TV and shit. And she'll talk to me. Like, she'll let me know when she needs to go outside or when she needs to eat. Or she'll just go into the kitchen and tear some shit up. And I'll look at her and say, fuck you. She goes and jumps in my bed and we cuddle at night and I go to sleep and I wake up and I'm happy. Happy. Like, that dog taught me unconditional love. Justin taught me unconditional love. My sponsor, Mikey P, taught me unconditional love. I got some sponsees that taught me unconditional love. I'm going to a place Sunday that's going to teach me more about unconditional love. Because everything that I thought about to myself, like all the bad shit I thought about myself, it's not true anymore. I don't fucking live in the past anymore. Like, I live for today. Because all those people that were saying that shit about me last week, I had a simple question. Was you fucking there when I was doing all that shit? No, but we heard about it. Did you? Did you hear about how I was going into meetings and saying, hey, I'm fucked up. I got me a brand new newcomer. I'm getting ready to fuck him up too. Did you know about that part? Because you only hear the shit that you can gossip about. Are you telling them how I changed? Let me tell you how I changed. Click. Because I don't need to talk to your fucking ass no more. If you got negativity and you want to bring it to my house, I got a pit bull that says, I'll bite you. Don't fuck with my daddy. Nobody comes to my house no more. Am I sad about it? Hell no. Hell no. I ain't got no food in my refrigerator. Because I ain't got to cook for you when you come to my house no more. My house is dirty. Because I ain't got to clean up when you come to my house no more. Oh, we coming over. My house is dirty. You can come in if you want to. You might have to kick somebody out of the fucking floor, but you can come on in if you want to. Like, I'm comfortable where I'm at in my life today. I saw somebody back there laughing. My house is clean now because I paid somebody to do it. I got rid of HBO Max and paid them to clean my house. When I was using, I was a neat freak. I got clean and fuck cleaning. I almost got wrote up at work because they said, hey, we don't have a dishwasher all week, and you're going to have to wash dishes. The food and beverage manager walked through and said, who are you talking to? And they said, we're talking to Calvin. She said, oh, no, you might as well go and write him up because he ain't washing no fucking dishes. She said, we worked together for 21 years, and if you see him washing dishes, something's about to fucking change up in this building. They caught me washing dishes only because I needed to pan. But the thing about it is like, every time I get to a point where I don't want to work this program anymore, I can't find anywhere else to go. I have tried. I'm going to say, let me go to church. Oh, hell no. Now, don't get me wrong. I grew up, when the church doors was open, I was in that bad boy. And every sermon I had to hear, I was going to hell. If you steal, you're going to hell. I wasn't a very good thief, but like I said, I'm fat, and when I was skinny, I still like candy. I would steal candy from the little store or something. I'd go to my grandmother's house and, hey, grandmama, can I get some of that candy? No. Okay, thank you, ma'am. Out the door, I was gone. Only for her to call me, hey, I need you to come over and help me do something. All she was going to do was set me up on ass whooping because she knew I took the candy. Terrible thief. Terrible. I just don't have anywhere else to go. So I got tired of fighting against myself, of trying to find somewhere to go when I belong right here. I'm with my people. Like, I don't have a family function without having somebody from the program there. And they was like, are you afraid you're going to get high? No, they're my family. Where's your family? No, you people that my mama had. So, and that's the truth. Like, my family dynamic is crazy. My oldest brother and my oldest sister, I love them because they're my brother and sister. They treated me like shit growing up. I got called every fucking name in the book. Everything. I got hit on. Everything. And when I got clean, I got ridiculed for being clean. You're a rat now. You're this. You're that. I come to Narcotics Anonymous, and no matter what the fuck I did, we still love you. And most of the time I thought they was lying, because I did some wretched shit around here. You know, I'm so thankful that there was those people in my life that said, keep coming back. We don't care what you've done, but how do you want to fix that? Keep coming back. So now I'm at a point in my life where I'm like, I'm trying to leave, and I'm like, you ain't got no fucking where to go. Why would you leave? Why would you leave somewhere that shows you love? Why would you leave somewhere that gives you help even when you don't want it? Because I don't like people helping me. I don't. I need to be independent. I'm a mama's boy. I was a mama's boy, for real. And, so, I wanted to come in and read some shit out of the book, out of the basic text, and how it works, how and why. That's not who I am. I share about me. I share about my mistakes, and I share about how I fixed them. I wish I could sit up here and read some shit out of the book. I'm going to fuck it up. Because I get nervous. Because it's not the big words that fuck me up. It's the little words that fuck me up. And then I get scared and like they really talking shit. They think I can't read. They think I'm dumb. Because I thought that way about myself my entire life. I had reading classes. I took them on my own so I could learn how to read better. And I would get A's in those classes until they got to get up and do it in front of somebody else. I fucked up. That's why I don't bring a book up here. I don't want to do that. But my sponsor told me, if you go and talk about you, talk about your program, talk about your mistakes, talk about how you fixed it, talk about the program, then you're going to carry a message. You know, and I had to help another home group change facilities because their place was going under construction. So we went and talked to the pastor of the church where we have our home group, and we were sitting in there and we were having a conversation, and he goes, so what do you get out of going to Narcotics Anonymous? I said, a life? He said, did you have a life before you started using drugs? I did. And then I messed it up. Because I had to watch my language in front of the preacher. I said, I messed it up. I started using. And I started stealing from my family. And I started to steal from my job. And then I wouldn't go to work. And then I started selling drugs. And then I started robbing my own self. Like, I was a good drug dealer for a while until I started using all my product up. And I said, then I come to the program and they tell me all this stuff. And I said, it was so funny because my mom used to say, you're going to be my preacher. I'm like, did they got gay preachers? This was 1985. You didn't talk about that shit. And she said, you're going to be my preacher. And so the pastor of the church looked at me and he said, so you're going to speak somewhere? And I said, yeah, I'm going to Knoxville and speak. And he goes, you're her preacher. He said, you're carrying God's word the way he wants you to carry it to the people that he wants you to carry it to. And I said, shit. He said, my job is to do it from the pulpit. Your job is to do it in the circle, behind the podium, through sponsorship, just having a conversation with somebody. He said, I learned more from you about Narcotics Anonymous than I've read in a book. You're doing what God wants you to do. You went about doing it a different way. He said, you got led to the program because something inside you kept drawing you to it even when you wanted to leave. He said it was a God of your understanding telling you, sit still and let me work. I'm like, this man's giving me a sermon, and I'm just trying to help another home group get a meeting place. And then the lady I'm with, she said, Sunshine. She always calls me Sunshine. She said, if you only knew the people that you help. She said, when you come to a meeting and you share about all that horrible stuff you say you do. She said, you help people. She said, you help me because sometimes I don't have the courage to say, oh, I did that. Like I was so discouraged when I came around to the very first meeting because when I got outed in the meeting, there were like 9 gay people sitting in the meeting. They were sitting there like, I said, look at this big bitch over here. Big as fuck. Walk around hollering, Didn't help me none. And I was mad. I was mad as fuck. And listen, all this shit that you doing around here, you need to quit doing it. I said, at least I share about my shit in the meeting. What you doing? You don't talk to your grand sponsor that way. Bitch, you a human just like I am. That pedestal shit is out the window with me. Even though I put myself on one. Yeah, and then I kicked it down my damn self. So listen, I don't know if I've helped anybody. I've been told if I help one person, I've done my job. Where'd Grant's ass go? Oh, fucker. Listen, now going to conventions has helped me meet so many people. Because I heard Grant share in Pigeon Forge one year at VRC. And I said, I need to meet this man. And the person I was with said, we know why you want to meet him. I said, first of all, Grant would probably kill me if I even looked at him funny. I said, he's from the fucking mountains. I can't be fucking with him. So I got his number because we were having a convention. But they never asked him to come down, but he showed up anyway. And Grant and I have had a relationship ever since then. I get the honor and the privilege of listening to what's going on with him when he can't get a hold of his sponsor. He'll say, hey, man, there he is, fucker. He said, I need some experience, strength, and hope on this. And he'll tell me what's going on. But the funniest story about Grant, we were in Nashville at VRC one time. And it was cold as fuck outside. And we was all outside smoking it. And I heard him, fuck you, man. I said, that's fucking Grant over there. I'm looking for him. He said, these motherfuckers over here told me I was racist and homophobic. I said, who did? He said, him. I walked over and I said, hi. I'm his gay black friend. He said, see you, motherfucker. So honestly, why would I want to leave a place that gives me people like that in my life? That gives me people like Janet that will come in the meeting and disrupt that motherfucker if you talk loud too. Your phone better not go off while Janet's sitting there. There's a meeting going on. And I'll say, Janet, honey, you're louder than the phone. But she's always loved me and encouraged me. And like there's several people I can look around this room that I've met because of this program. I can't replace them. So if your disease is telling you that you don't belong here, you might want to find a reason why your ass came here in the first fucking place. Because it don't matter if a judge sent you here, because I always said I got forced to go to NA. And my sponsor would look at me and said, didn't you ask for drug court? I said, but they're still making me stay. He said, no. You have a fucking choice. He said, 920, that's our jail address, which I live 2 blocks from. He said, 920 is down the road. You made a choice not to go to 920, but to come to this program and live. I'm like, God, I always get these smart-ass sponsors. Why y'all always want to help me? Because I fuck up all the time. He said, because we love you. So if you don't feel like that you are loved today, find somebody in this program that's going to hug you and tell you they love you. I personally, and Janet will tell you, I'm not that guy that's going to stand up here and say, oh, I love everybody, because that's a fucking lie from me. I'm being real honest. I don't love everybody in here because I don't fucking know you. But when I start to know you, I can love you. I'll give you a hug and I'll tell you to keep coming back. And if you want to talk to me after this, we can sit down and talk, but you better do it quick because I'm leaving tomorrow morning. I got to go home and cook. But thank you, Grant, for staying on my ass about coming down here. Because I feel like, oh shit, I'm going to go down there and bomb. I don't know if I have or not. I just know I'm nervous. I was nervous. My armpits starting to smell up here. I done drank enough fucking water. Good Lord. But I feel good. I feel loved. I'm happy as fuck. I don't need nobody to judge me because I do it enough on my own. But if you want to judge me, have at it. That's yours, not mine. I'm good with it. I don't know. I think I don't want to ramble no more. And nobody told me when to quit, but I'm stopping myself. Thank you for listening. That's all I got.
Hell yeah. Yeah. All right. My name's Timmy again. I'm gonna have a few announcements. What was that? A few announcements. Merchandise. We got merchandise in the merchandise room. Go check out Just for Today merchandise. After this, from 9:30 until 12 in this room, we're doing karaoke. Oh, shit. For the ones that don't want to embarrass yourself, over in Salon C, we're going to be holding night shift. That's right. That's right. Anyways, night shift is a local meeting that we have every Friday night from 10 until 11 at the Fix, if you're ever in town. Goes to, not the Fix, the Flatiron. My bad. It's where the Fix is also held. All right. It's in Salon C. Check that out. Not the merchandise room. I've asked Maddie to come up here and read We Do Recover. Green shirt, green shirt. With a green reading. Green reading, green shirt. Yeah.
Jennifer, I'm an addict.
Hey, Jennifer.
We do recover. When at the end of the road we find we can no longer function as a human being, either with or without drugs, we all face the same dilemma. Seems to be this alternative. Either go on the best we can to the bitter ends, jails, institutions, or death.
Or
Find a new way to live.
that's the one.
In years gone by, very few addicts have ever had this last choice. Those who are addicted today are more fortunate. For the first time in man's entire history, a simple way has been proving itself in the lives of many addicts. It is available to us all. This is a simple, spiritual, not religious program known as Narcotics Anonymous.
Thank you. Just swing it somewhere. It's good. Oh, we don't know if there's waters down here. They still got a little bit in them. You weren't that thirsty. Let's circle up and close out with a moment of silence. Grant. Let's make a circle all the way around this room.
Hey, get up this way. Hey, come on, let us in.
Get up here. Everybody up here. And we're going to circle all the way around. Get in where you fit in. And I've never been kicked out of one of these circles, so I know you fit.
You'll fit.
You'll fit.
Y'all touch each other.
Reach out and touch face. Come on, North Carolina, let's go.
Come on, Gastonia, get up here.
Come on, Gastonia. Watch out, she'll rescue your dog. Woo!
I love you, John.
Good Lord, look at all this.
Love you guys. Woo!
Who's sexy tonight, huh? Hey, sorry.
Somebody be.
Yeah, somebody is. Grant, why don't you take us out there? Close us down.
My name's Grant and I'm an addict.
Hey, Grant.
Let's let this circle represent what I can't do alone, but we can do together. Have a moment of silence for the sick and suffering addict, followed by the we version of the Serenity Prayer. God,
Grant me serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things we can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Just for today.
keep coming back, it works.
Hey, also, they've asked that we don't have anything besides water in this room, so do what we do as addicts and hide that shit.